Hi, my name is Chad DeFries with Forest River, Georgetown. Today we're at a campground. We're going to set up camp for you in this beautiful 21 34H5. Let's get started. One of the things that we recommend when you set up camp, the first things to do is deploy your jacks. By doing that, you're going to have the ignition on as well as the emergency brake pressed in. If your emergency brake is not pressed in, the jacks will not work. So that's first and foremost. There's two ways to do this when you get here. Since you pulled into camp, you're kind of looking around, you kind of see what your pad's like. If it's really out of whack, you can go manual mode, which is on the control pad here. You hit on, and then you're going to hit manual. And then you can push down the jacks just so they're snug up against the ground. In this situation, since we are on a pretty level pad, we're going to use the auto mode. And then when you hit that button, the jacks are going to start to deploy. At that point, you want to make sure that your guests are completely still in the coach, because if they start moving around, that's going to hinder the system and getting the coach level. So the next step after we have the coach completely level is come outside and get your sewer hose, your water line, park cable if you have it. Get those out of your cargo bays. Why we do this now is because the slide boxes are in, so it's much easier to get those things out. So I'm going to show you how to hook up your utilities, and we'll get started. So the first thing you're going to have, depending on how you do it, we have this cap that is going to be a pass-through to your sewer line. So sewer line's just going to take the cap off. It twists counterclockwise. And just quarter turn and get that on there like that. Next thing you're going to do, get your water line. Now, this one might be a little tricky, but so you're going to notice here on the wet bay, we're going to have everything labeled. So in this situation, we're on city water, which basically means the campground has a water hookup supply for us. If we were on fresh water, didn't have any water, you'd want to hook up your fill hose to this one in order to fill your freshwater tank. But in this situation, we're going to go here. Make sure that's real nice and tight. There's nothing else to do there, guys. Once that's in there, the coach knows which way the water's coming from. There's nothing else to do there. Now that we have the water and the sewer hooked up, in the separate bay is going to be our electrical bay. This is going to have our 50 amp short cord in there. So again, just like we did in the wet bay, unscrew the pass through, shove the cord down through. You're going to have to walk it through. Which might take some time, but you're camping, so it doesn't matter, right? So here at this campground, we actually have a 50, a 30, and a 110 outlet. You have the breakers here. Plug this in, turn the breakers. Next thing we're going to do, this campground doesn't have cable hookup, but in this bay as well is where we have our cable hookups. So again, just take it through the pass-through. And then we have the inlet right here on the side of the coach in this bay. So in all of our 3 Series, 5 Series, 7 Series, you're going to find the cable inlet in this as well. This is also a great point if you have a portable satellite dome. This is where you'd back feed it through to enjoy the satellite. Okay, so step 3 in this process, we feel now it's time for the slide out. So just to review, we got our jacks down, it's level, all of our utilities are hooked up. So the next phase again is bringing out the jacks. So in the Georgetown 5 Series, 7 Series, we're going to have a Precision Circuits master control board. In the 3 Series, we do not have this. But what some of the features that this will do, just real quick, it'll show you your tank levels. If you always hit the home button, it's always going to take you back. You can run your slides. You can run your awning. You can start your generator. Well, in this situation, we don't need to. And then we have our tank heaters, water pump, hot water heaters, Here we have our AC controls. We'll go through this a little bit later. And then we have the lock function. But one of the neat things that this will do is will pair with your phone and has a precision circuit app that's available on Apple or Android. This is going to be Bluetooth. It's going to be good for about 100 yards, depending on the atmospheric conditions. But we're not at a tight camp spot. But if we were, we could go into our slide functions, and we could actually be outside and watch our slides go out to make sure we're not hitting anything. So you're going to have to continue holding this button. If you let go, it's going to stop. So that way, safety override in that. So one of the things you want to check before you move on to the kitchen slide, which is a slide right behind the driver's chair, is to make sure your driver's chair is not in the way of the slide fascia. We've done that a time or two, and it rips up the back of the seat, and it's not you just like, oh, I had a moment. Okay, now we got the passenger side slide out. Now on the 34H5, we have 2 on the driver's side. So one of the things you want to make sure before you do this, if you're standing outside the coach, is make sure your driver's seat back is out of the way of the slide. And again, just like the other passenger side slide up there for the sofa dinette, we can stand here and watch this slide come out. Again, this is going to be a great feature if you're in a tight spot and have some tight obstacles that you want to make sure your slide box is not hitting. The other thing you're going to notice in all of our Georgetowns is we're going to have awning toppers standard on everything that we do. Now that one's fully out, so we're going to do our bed slide. Now jumping back to the other side here, this app will also do awnings. So the 34H5 has 2 aluminum wrapped awnings on it, which basically encases the whole passenger side of the coach and the camp side. And again, it's just a press of a button. Now we also have the second patio slide back here over the bedroom. You know, one of the things I like about our awnings is the fact that they are legged awnings. They have the aluminum wrap, so it's going to protect, that aluminum wrap is going to protect your awning from UV rays, tree branches coming into parks or the campsites. The other thing I like too is the fact how easy this is to adjust our awnings. Yeah, it's a little high, but you can pull them up, push them back up. So the other thing with that shock system that's going to happen is if you get a sudden gust of wind or a sudden downpour, being that these are legged awnings, they're actually going to sustain the sudden downpour of the water and the winds as well. So just a quick recap of what we've done so far. We've pulled into our camp spot, we deployed the jacks, we hooked up all our utilities, fresh water, sewer, cable, hooked up our electric. Third thing we've done is we deployed all of our slide boxes, and then we also deployed all of our awnings on the camp side. For more videos like this, please visit us at forestriverinc.com or on our Facebook page. Thank you.